Sup? Doing a long dark stream for the first time. Batman just left the party. Good times, good times. I've been playing this game since its release, so you know, pretty long time. I played when it was still in early access. But the whole concept of it is to survive the winter. Alright. That's the first part of it. Look at the bottom left, you have a temperature gauge, a rest gauge, so you know how much energy you have, a water, thirst, and then the little health bar is called the condition bar. And that judges how much you know, health you have, obviously. Pretty simple. And there's very limited survival right now. I'm playing on Mystery Lake, which is one of the beginner areas, but you know, I put it on a little bit of a harder difficulty. I put it on a Voyager, which is the normal difficulty. Normally I'll just play on easy, see how much I, you know, can craft and stuff myself. Oh yeah, I'm back. So, if you can hear that, there's crows, and my dog is crying. Daisy, shush. Being a baby. Okay, crows can mean good things, they also can mean bad things. It could be a dead person, a dead deer, wolf, bear, moose, whatever really. Dead rabbit, I think. But, crows are leading right here, and the feathers can be used to make arrows. So, but you can't make arrows till you get a forge. Well, I mean, you technically could, but you can't make arrowheads yourself until you find a forge and have scrap. And the tough part about it is you have to get the forge temperature to a temperature of 150, and the maximum temperature you can get by wood is 80 degrees. So you have to use a very limited supply of coal. Sometimes you gotta go out and find coal specific for certain areas, like in the mines or near forges. There will be like 4 or 5 pieces. Right now we're going up to the watchtower in Mystery Lake. It could have a rifle, which would be the best case scenario. Or like a knife would be decent too. At the end of this hill to the right, there is a lumber camp, and then if you keep going down that direction, it'll lead you to the Carter Dam, which has the most loot on this map, and is also a decent base location. But I'm not gonna be basing there in this roleplay I did last time I played this map. So I'm probably just gonna try to gear up, better clothes, you know, better food, well, food in general. And then I'm going to try to head to a different map, probably. One at least with a forage. I know there's one if you follow the railroad opposite of the Mystery Lake, you know, what's it called? It's like a cabin that, you know, like a camp worker would be in or whatever. Oh yeah, this is... Alright, my bad. I thought this was the intact one, but it's not. I mean, it can still give you some pretty decent gear. Oh, and by the way, just so you know, reclaimed wood is basically, you know, wood from furniture that you break down. It doesn't burn too long. So, you know, it's not the best wood. But it also isn't very good at, you know, lighting it. I forgot they added this collapse tower. That's the one I wanted to get to. That direction. I think there's a rope or something I can climb down here.
Excellent.
And I can run over there. Or walk, I guess. See, this is really interesting. There's different tiers of magazines you can read, which I find amazing. So you can have like a beginner's magazine, or you can have a intermediate, which is like medium for those of you who don't understand. And the intermediate one, you can read like 10 hours. The starter one would be 5 hours, or 4. You can get all the way up to like 25 hours from what I've seen. And as you saw, I just got some mountain climbing rope, which could be pretty decent if there's a rock up here that I can climb down on. Oh, and look, here's one of the deers I was talking about. But I can't take anything because it's frozen. But the lumber yard area is that way through those trees. And this rope I actually just found is going to come in handy here. This can get me down closer to the other tower, because these weird rocks right here on higher locations are where you set, which looks like I can get up through there. The bad thing about mountain rope, or mountaineer rope, whatever the fuck you call it, it can you can find it like naturally, you can climb up it or whatever, and it could snap, which is obviously not what you want because you're hanging from it. And if you heard that, my character is complaining about freezing because, look at the inventory, this is all he's wearing. His hands are exposed. He's wearing a real thin sweater vest, basically. Or a down vest, I guess some of you call it. Once I get up to this tower, I'm going to stop the stream and start another one because I'm going to go eat dinner. So there will be a part 2. You can see the little wooden railing to get up to the tower. Vaguely, right up there. And look, if you look in the bottom right here, you see the little slope thing. That indicates that there is a danger of getting sprained ankles easier. Because you're like that.
That's gonna slow things down.
Just like I just got. You can treat a ankle or sprained ankle with a bandage, and then it basically just slows down your character. And if you see the outlines of the screen, how it got blurry, that's because the pain from the sprained ankle and your character's vision will get a tad bit blurry, like it is currently. It's foggier up top towards the top of the screen. So once I get up in this cabin, I'm gonna maybe start a fire, or I could just wait, seeing as how it's 3 hours and 52 minutes. So just me surviving, it could go away. I wouldn't have to waste painkillers, or I can use the painkillers and make it go away instantly. You can see the forestry lookout. At the top of the tower, I might be able to see some of the locations I was talking about, like the Hunter's Lodge. So the lumber yard's down that way. There's the train cars that lead towards that cabin right there, which is where I'm gonna head next. And then that way, see that big rock right there, and a little clearing, that is that's where I'm gonna be heading overall. That's the hunter's cabin, or the trapper's cabin, what it's called, but I call it hunter's cabin. And we got lucky. We got a rifle and a cleaning kit. And some revolver ammo. Only place on this map I've seen the revolver is in the Hoover Dam. So ammo's really common for it, but it's a lot harder to actually get at the gun itself. I'm gonna start a fire up here, and if you see, there's percentages for each stuff you use, so you know, fire starting chance, a 45% chance of success, 80, so on and so forth. I'm starting to fire now because I'm freezing, and I'm gonna hopefully make a cup of coffee so I can get down the mountain, or tea, whatever I have. Tea makes it so you sleep. It also makes it so you lose less fatigue, or you know, energy. Another thing is, wood is extremely heavy, as you would assume. So let me see what I have. I'm not doing too hot on food. But I'll craft some spare bandages. And right here, you can see that, you know, you can move stuff and all that. So I'll take about 30 minutes. Even though it said 19, it's going to take a little bit more. Because it goes from undrinkable water, or snow, undrinkable water, and then water. It should be, yeah, see, still have some time. So I'm going to just clean my rifle and hopefully get the quality increase, because I only have one bullet. I want it to be accurate. And as you can see, each time you do something, it increases. Cooking. All I have is a can of pork and beans right now, and an MRE. So I'm gonna cook up these pork and beans. They'll probably give me the most amount of calories currently. And then once I eat those, I'm gonna go to bed and regain some energy. I would stay up here, but the thing is, it's pretty far away from everything, and there's not an exact defined path to get here from other locations. So I'll boil up another 50 liters of water. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, well, right before I go to bed, I'm gonna show you guys the weather system and all that. Like, currently it is, you know, becoming night, as you can see. The water's still not ready, so I'll show you. Okay, so you can see the train tracks a little bit clearer through the snow. So there's a train car right there, and it keeps going that way. It leads to the Hoover Dam, or Carter Dam, my bad. Back that way there's a hunting, I don't know, like a hunting tower, but it's short. Has, you know, rifle, maybe a bow or some arrows. But I'm heading to the trapper's cabin, which is that way. So when I get down from up here, I'm gonna follow the train tracks. Probably gonna loot that cabin for, you know, some water, food, or whatever. Head to the end there, which is another way to leave this area. Then there's the Hoover Dam, which you can leave through the dam or around it. Well, you used to be able to go through it, but not anymore. They updated it. And seeing as how this place isn't very well insulated, the fire is probably going to be pretty important. And just to make sure we have enough firewood, I'm going to break these two benches, or a chair and a bench down. As you can see, the pain has healed because I've been giving it some time. I got 8.5 hours of fuel, or not fuel, but yeah, fuel for the fire. So that was right. Yeah, nothing else I can do. I'm gonna sleep 8 hours, see how bad the weather is, and maybe boil up another can of water. Okay, so it's a blizzard. Well, is it? It might have just stopped. Yeah, it was the end of a blizzard. So I'm gonna go get some more water. Oh, just locked myself out. I'm gonna go boil up a can of water real quick. And normally I would take this can with me, but I already have two from the not dog food, canned beans. And you spawn with one, just in case. You used to be able to boil snow just randomly, and also be able to get firewood by looking at the snow and digging. But they removed that, so now you actually have to go out and with your axe or makeshift axe or hacksaw or hammer, whatever you bring, and get firewood. And now I have just about a full water. I'll show you, but I don't ever really do this. You can harvest charcoal, so basically the more fuel you burn, the more charcoal you get. And here's what you can do with charcoal. If you hit R2, it surveys the local area. And as you can see, it shows you everything that's around. Normally I won't do this, carry around charcoal, because it gets really heavy after a little bit, like the more you collect. But I'll try to highlight some more of the key points. Okay, oh, and I'm already really cold since the fire's gone out. Normally I don't recommend this, but we need to get down there. See, that's why I don't recommend it. Not many people would have enough medicine, or like, let's see this thick skill right there to try not to fall. Sprained wrist. Okay. See, this is why I made the spare bandages the night before. My arm's not really as important because that'll heal, but I need the leg to heal real quick so I can sprint. Oh, that's Old Man Beard, basically. Let me show you. Right here. Old Man Beards, I think. Yeah, lichen. Or lichen, whatever you want to call it. Basically, this is a herbal way to prevent, you know, infection. So, you know, you'd wrap this around a wound and make like a bandage thing with it. It doesn't stop blood, but it does stop infection rate. Look, you can see all the stuff around here just by marking it on your map. Normally I just memorize where everything is. It's a lot easier than carrying around a lot of heavy charcoal. See, I took some fall damage, but you know, I came from that big ass tower up there, got here, and it was early morning. Now it was like 6 o'clock, and I got here at like 8, so it took about an hour or two. Go ahead and survey the area one more time over here. Trying to keep it in a line for you guys. Here's the lodge I was talking about. Oh, and these little bushes back here, if you see the bright red rose hips, they are a herbal painkiller. And you can also make the painkiller into tea. The tea will warm you up if you cook it, or boil it, I guess, in some water. I normally don't. I have lived here when I played PC a lot more. But on PS4, I don't like living here. The rifle's kind of hard to... It's harder to aim in the new update. So... It used to be you could just infinitely look down the scope, but now there's like scope sway. That's a lot worse. And some other stuff like that, you know. As you can see, I can't pull out the gun, even though I tried, because my wrist is sprained now. Storm lanterns right here, as it says, you know, man-made items. You can read anything about it, because, you know, it's man-made. It tells you something about it. Anything, you know, natural, it'll sometimes tell you, but not all the time. Normally I'll live here just because there's 2 fires, or potbelly stove, and then another stove upstairs. Here's the potbelly, but take the charcoal. Another magazine, which the magazines are relatively new also. You used to not be able to get them, and just you'd have to shoot more bullets to increase your rifle skill. But now you get to read a book and make it a little better, or a magazine. This always spawns here. There's always a fishing hook a whetstone, and then some line, because right down the little walkway there's a fishing area, which fishing is the only way other than finding the big things of lantern fuel or the little metal containers
Could eat anything right now.
to get fuel. So fishing is also a good way to get food, or bait, as you would commonly use it as, especially if it's smaller fish. Here's the wood stove. Oh, got even less charcoal.
Can always use more food.
Right here you can see this note. You can pause the video if you want to read it. There's all sorts of stuff. And here's another thing that always spawns, another bedroll, which would be really useful if you're in a building that doesn't have a bedroll, or a bed in general. And if you see this, so these shoes would normally be better, but these are new, which makes them currently better, like insulation and stuff, insulation wise. Alright, that's gonna be it for now. Hopefully I can get some people to join and comment with me. Till then, have a nice afternoon or morning, whatever time it is for you, whatever day of the year. I love you guys. Thank you for supporting me. Goodbye.